plan a DJ set in DJ Pro AI. I'm DJ Spiegel Spin, and I'm going to show you how. When it comes to DJing, the best DJs that perform at the highest level have the best plan. So even if you're a beginner DJ or you've been DJing for 20 years, it's still very important to have a plan. So what do we have to look for when we're planning our set? Well, I usually go by the 3 W's: who, where, and when. So as soon as you get booked to do a DJ gig, you have to realize where is it and what type of environment are you going to be DJing, because this is very important, because if you're DJing in a club, it's going to be different than DJing a 50th birthday party. If you're DJing in a restaurant, it's going to be different than DJing at the beach. So different equipment may be required. No equipment may be required if you're playing at a club or something like that. So we have to know where we are DJing. So let's say that we were booked to DJ somebody's 25th birthday party, and they booked us to DJ at a local catering hall. So what you're going to do first is study the where. Maybe if it's a local place that you can visit, get in your car and go down there and see what the atmosphere is like, how high are the ceilings, how big is the room, and what type of speakers are you going to need. And then also, if you DJ with streaming services like me, either get the Wi-Fi if they offer Wi-Fi, or see if you are going to have enough service if you're using like a 5G connection or something like that. So that's very important, because if you plan the DJ with a streaming service and you have absolutely no internet service, you are kind of going to be out of luck. So anytime I'm booked to do a DJ gig and it's local, I'll go there and check it out, load some songs, make sure they load, and make sure that I'll be able to have my music. Or if it's not local, I'll call them and ask them if they have a guest Wi-Fi. And if they don't have a guest Wi-Fi, sometimes they'll let you use their private Wi-Fi if you tell them that you're a DJ that was booked to perform at the venue. So now the next thing we're going to need to do is the who. Who is this for? For this example, we are DJing for 25-year-olds. So this is going to be easy if you're a young DJ like me, because you're going to know what type of music these people like. So, but if you were DJing for a 50th birthday party, the music is going to be very different, because it's a different audience, and people usually enjoy the music that was popular when they first started going out. So like, just do the math, and when the people were 19 to like 24, basically when they were still cool, is when they were going to want to hear music from that time. So if it's a 50th birthday party, maybe play stuff from the 80s or the 70s even, or the early 90s. And it's a very simple math equation, but it's just important that you do it. Now, another thing is going to be our playlist. So once we know what type of music we're going to play, and we know that we're going to be able to use our streaming services, now we could work on making the playlist. So to make a playlist in DJ Pro, we're going to go over here to the music selection, and then you go to my collection, and then you could press the plus button right here, add a new playlist, and then we're going to do Bob's 25th birthday party. So now what we're going to do is, based on the time that you are hired to DJ. So let's say the party starts at 5 and ends at 10. You are DJing for 5 hours. Now, a good rule of thumb is to make your playlist at least double that. It's very simple. If it's a 5-hour party, have 10 hours worth of playlist. And in order to do this, we can go over here and we can, let's just select a random playlist. That one doesn't have that many songs. That one doesn't have any many songs. So that one doesn't have any many songs. Neither does that one. So this one was for my engagement party. This has, if you look over here, it's 2 hours and 44 minutes. right there where I have the mouse. So that'll tell you how much hours and minutes that you have in the playlist. So if we were going to if we wanted to get 10 hours worth of music, then we would make a playlist that is 10 hours. So this one right here is a 5-hour playlist. So that would be good for 2.5 hours. So now we have to discover music. So all day long, every chance you get, you should be listening to headphones, playing music on your car, and discovering new music. A couple of ways that I recommend discovering new music, and one of them takes place right here in the app. We go over here, and then we go to our streaming service. The one that I use is Tidal, but if you use BeatSource or Beatport or SoundCloud, it'll be the same process. And then we're going to go to Explore, and then you could do the top 20. So these are what this streaming service decided that the top 20 songs at the moment are. And Tidal is more for rap and hip hop music, so you're going to get a lot of rap and hip hop music here. And now if you have another subscription to Spotify or something else, which has more pre-made playlists, you could listen to the songs there, save them, and then transfer them into Tidal and then play them through DJ Pro. So that's a great way to discover new music. I worked as a truck driver, and I would be listening to Spotify all day long, saving songs, and then I would come home and then transfer them into DJ Pro. Now the next thing that you're going to want to know is what equipment is going to be required for this specific gig. So if you're DJing at a club, you might just need to bring a USB stick or just your iPad if you plan to use DJ Pro with it. And you don't have to bring speakers or anything. I would recommend bringing headphones because you don't want to use someone else's sweaty headphones. And it's very different if you were booked, like our example now, we're doing a 25th birthday party at a catering hall, and we are responsible for everything from the DJ booth, the table, the controller, and then also the sound. So make sure that you have speakers that are loud enough. So I talked about this in a lot of my videos, and just the loudness of speakers is technically measured in watts. So if you have a 140, 150 watt speaker, you're only set up for about 30 people. And if there's going to be 100 people there, it's not going to be loud enough. Nobody's going to dance, and nobody's going to be able to actually feel the music. So keep that in mind too. And also, if it's outdoors, you're going to need louder speakers because you lose bass and stuff when you're outdoors. And also keep in mind what type of lights to bring. So if you're doing a 25th birthday party, you might want to bring cool lights and lasers and all that stuff. But if you're doing an 80th birthday party, you might want to keep it a little more mild. So make sure that you are catering to the audience that you think is most likely going to be there. This way you don't bring too much or you don't bring too little. Another thing is power. With DJ Pro, we could DJ outside. We don't need to be connected to power with some controllers and other devices. So keep that in mind. And if you're doing one where you have nowhere to plug in, make sure you bring enough spare batteries and enough extras so that you make sure that you don't mess up. And now, when you have the music in your playlist, I recommend always going to every song that you play and always having cue points. So to set cue points in DJ Pro, you're going to press over here, this button for the mixer, and then the cue button, and then now we could add all these cue points. So I would recommend, at least, if you're only going to do one thing with the cue points, it's at least do the beginning, where you think is a good place to start the song, and where you think is a good place to end the song. And if you want to go more, if you want to mark the drops and mark words that you want to repeat and stuff like that, you could do that. But at least when you add a song to your playlist, just put a good spot to mix in and a good spot to mix out. This makes it so you don't have to do any guessing or any type of stressful situation, because you know when is a good time to start the song and when is a good time to end the song. So with anything involving DJ, you always have to plan ahead. So make sure you know that the venue is going to be adequate for your style of DJing. If you are a streaming service only DJ and you encounter a place with no service, it could be an issue. So I recommend always having backups. And then with your DJ sets, always have a second device to play the music from. So even if it's just your phone with Spotify or with DJ Pro app, have it connected somehow to the speakers, whether it's Bluetooth or another connection on the mixer. And if your iPad dies or it freezes or something, you could go right into playing music from your phone, because you never want to have silence in your set. So make sure you guys plan your gigs, plan your sets, and also have fun while you DJ, because that's what it's all about. And if you like learning new stuff about DJ Pro and how to DJ with the iPad, you can subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. I make DJ videos every day.